Hey YouTube, it's Pure Station here. Today's date is December 19th, 2016, and of course this is yet another braces update vlog video, number 7, in my sort of multi-year journey in my third round of orthodontic treatment as an adult. It's been about 15 years since I first started my orthodontic treatment in my early 20s. I'm in my mid to late 30s, and well, braces again and again and again. It seems to be never ending, and it's partially because I didn't do jaw surgery when I first started treatment in my 20s, and then sort of a bit of negligence on my part because I didn't wear my retainer sort of in my later years in my 30s, which then made my jaw move around, and of course now, well, we're back to square one again, brace face. So last video I posted about my braces was sometime at the end of November, and that particular video covered a very large time span. I think sometime in the early summer all the way through to November. So of all the different things that I had gone through, including hardware enhancements, hardware additions, crazy rubber bands, and grinding gaps between my teeth. And so I made a commitment to my viewers not to leave such a huge window before I posted an update. So this is why I'm here again so soon. Today being the 19th actually is a special day, because today actually marks the exact 1 year anniversary when I made the choice to go through orthodontic treatment again. So it's amazing that a year has gone by so quickly, because it literally blew by in a blink of an eye. I can't believe it's been that long already. And so I had another appointment at the beginning of December, and so I thought for sure that okay, they're just gonna do the normal routine, change the wire. I don't have to wear rubber bands anymore to look like this in public when I speak to people and in the office environment. But I didn't know what to actually expect other than, hey, good job, you're progressing with your treatment, carry on and see you next time. No, as a matter of fact, my orthodontist took a look at my teeth and realized, hey, your lower jaw still could, shrink a little bit more. But again, we don't want to pull teeth, nor do we want to do jaw surgery. So the only option we have is to shave and install more gaps between your lower teeth, so that we can use a chain elastic to sort of clamp it all together to make it smaller, so that your lower and upper jaw relationship is more ideal. And so I understood that, because in my previous fall appointment, he had told me that he would like to put these gaps in slowly and move things slowly so that we don't inadvertently shave off more tooth than necessary. So I knew this was kind of coming. I just didn't know that he was going to put so many gaps in. And if I can find some photos, I'll put them at the end of this particular video clip before I show you sort of the other little bits and pieces of rubber bands that he had changed up. Well, basically, he had took his little grinding tool again and increased the gaps here, 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 and here, basically all along the front teeth. And the idea here was, by trimming down the top, so the teeth in the top, it'll also help minimize the visibility of the gaps along my root line, because I'm getting up there in age, and of course my gums are receding. So he says from an aesthetics perspective it'll also look better. And what's interesting is that despite his attempts at shrinking the lower bite, or the lower dental arch, he actually ground top teeth here, 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 and here, which I thought was really interesting, because I asked him why he would want to do that, and he said it's because from an aesthetics perspective, I have large teeth, and I had some gaps up here that he figured that he may as well trim it a little bit off to sort of finish off that look. And of course, when you introduce a bunch of gaps, it looks really weird. Not surprisingly, he also changed up the chain elastic. So I think in my last video, there was a purple one. Now I opted to get an orange one. So unfortunately, the lighting in our room here sucks. But it is an orange chain on the top and lower dental arches that span from, each side of my mouth to close those gaps. So other things he didn't do was he didn't change the wire. Apparently my arch wire is still usable, so he just said to maintain the status quo and just reuse the old one. And I thought, do I need to wear rubber bands still? As you can see, I still apparently do, even though I've been so good at keeping them in my mouth as long as I humanly can. So the side ones here were these ones. They were a 3/16 inch bill elastic that was 4 ounces, which is considered a medium weight elastic. And I mean, this is to correct, to give me an overbite. And of course, on these front hooks here, it's Debbie, which is a heavy duty 6 ounce 1/8 inch elastic. So super tiny and super strong. I think 6 ounces is as strong as these little elastics get. There's an 8 ounce variety, is my understanding, but they use those only with headgear, I think. I think I'm the only guy in the world that seems to have crazy rubber bands. So I thought I would just continue on with these rubber bands, but apparently not. I was told, my orthodontist actually never said anything. It wasn't until I was ready to leave the dental office that I was told by the dental assistant that no, she goes, you're not going to wear these side elastics anymore. You're going to wear something that's 50% stronger, which is these. And appropriately called a bummer because they're the same size elastic, but they're also 50% stronger in strength. As you can see here, it's a heavy duty 6 ounce elastic band. So I started doing some math in my head that if this is a 6 ounce and that's a 6 ounce and that's a 6 and that's a 6, that's 4 times 6 ounces, which is 24 ounces. That's 1.5 pounds of force in my mouth. And that's not even including the forces acting on my teeth by the chain elastics. I honestly estimate that I've probably got 1 3/4 pound of force in my mouth at any given time, that's crazy. I think last time I had that much strength in my mouth was when I had braces the very first time, where no exaggeration, I had 9 rubber bands in my mouth. It was crazy, and I actually worked in retail back in those days. Let's just say I scared almost every customer that dealt with me. But anyway, I'll just quickly flip the camera over here and I'll show you a relative comparison of those rubber bands. So here is a close-up of the rubber bands on a black sort of tablet surface here. So to the left is the Bill 3/16 inch 4 ounce rubber band, and then here's the newly prescribed bummer elastic that is also 3/16 of an inch but is 6 ounces. So the one here on the right is 50% stronger in terms of force, and you can clearly see that it looks 50% thicker even though it's the same diameter. So this is the new one I have to wear. They say wear only at night, but I try my best to wear it all day long if I can. And so there's a marked difference, and the hope is that this would pull my lower jaw back even further to overcorrect my bite, which is what he's trying to deliberately do, because last time he didn't do that, my jaw regressed back to its messed up former self. And to give you some context, this is a 6 ounce Debbie front elastic that's 1/8 of an inch. So super, super tiny, but again, very substantial. A lot of force. So 4 of these rubber bands in my mouth on the sides and front for a combined total of 1.5 pounds of force, plus chain elastics, which is another 1/4 pound or so of closing power. So you can see those rubber bands. The new rubber band, at least, is quite substantial. But I guess in closing for my video, here's sort of my close-up shot, as best as I can give you guys in this crappy lighting, how things are looking. The bites are looking great. I don't have a crossbite anymore, which is wonderful. And of course, I've got the proper overbite. My orthodontist did say that at my next appointment, which is supposed to be sometime in February 2017, that they're actually going to take off some of the brackets and reposition them, which basically means there's still more correction to be done. Now, right now, this top teeth is actually hitting this lower bracket here. So even though these elastics are pulling things together, I don't really see how they can correct any further because, well, these act like bump stops, right? You can't close that gap anymore. And I know my orthodontist wants to overcorrect, so I suspect that these will probably get moved down and these might get moved up. Not really sure what to expect. So I guess my next video will be sometime in February, showing what they're going to do next. But stay tuned because Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. I've actually involuntarily signed up my spouse to get orthodontic treatment as well. And so she actually has a more severe underbite than I ever had, and she will actually require jaw surgery. So I'm hoping to capture her entire treatment process and have her speak about her treatment a little bit at least, so that you guys can sort of see what orthodontic treatment would look like with jaw surgery. So stay tuned. Give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below, and consider subscribing to my channel to get the latest in my personal blog, as well as many DIY projects that involve vehicles. Thanks for watching, guys.